Hey guys, y'all been asking about how I make my little pocket folder books with all the goodies in them. They're lots of fun. So I'm going to show you how. I'm not good at these videos, so bear with me. Okay, here's what you're going to need. Okay, you're going to need a file folder, any kind of file folder. It's just going to need to be a letter size file folder. So pick one out with pretty patterns. That's usually what makes a lot of it is the pattern and the coordinating stuff you put with it. That's 75% of it right there. Okay, once you've gotten your, oh, sorry, I got ahead of myself. Okay, so you're gonna need a file folder, then you're gonna need scissors, a ruler, and glue runner, and of course washi tape. You can't do any project without washi tape. Now, if you want to use a whammy jammy paper cutter, you can. I tend to because I can't cut a straight line, but of course that's what the ruler's for. Okay, I've already done my cutting just to keep things speedy, but here's what you're going to start with. You're going to take your file folder and you are going to cut it, not quite in half, but you're going to cut it a little over in half. If you want to cut it in half, you can. It just depends on the size you want for your little book. What I did was I cut it right at about 5. You're just going to cut it straight in half. Just cut. Okay? Once you have cut, this is what you're going to have. Actually, let's see. Yeah, it's about 5. So I told you I couldn't cut a straight line. Okay, so you're going to have this left over. Put the rest of it aside. I've done that over here. I've cut some of the pieces out. Okay, take the half of your file folder. And that makes sense, I hope so. Okay, take the part of your file folder and you're going to take the first part, keep it folded in the middle, fold one flap over to the middle, line it up with the seam, and do the same thing on the second side. So you're going to have this. Now, if you had a file folder that had a top tab or a bottom tab, your file folder is going to look like this. Your pocketbook is going to look like this because the flap is going to take up a little more room. I actually prefer it that way because it gives you a little more space. This is one I've already glued and made. And basically, it's a file folder that you've cut and then added some little pockets to. It's super easy, and it looks really cute. Like I said, the 75% of it is the pattern you pick and then the stuff to go with it. So, back to ours. Here's ours. Now, next what you do is you take the other part of your file folder and you cut a strip right down the side out of the other half. This is a strip because it's going to fit in right here. It's going to fit in your first pocket, okay, or your first little flap. Well, yeah, right there. It's going to fit right there. So you're going to open it up, glue right there at the seam. Just put enough glue right there for the immediate part to be glued, and you're going to glue it in the middle of the first pouch. Okay? Now, you've got all kinds of options here. You can make this part of your fold-up book where you fold this more. See, you could fold it and fold it in more, and then fold it in more like that, and then you've got more fold outs. It depends on how much stuff you want to put in and what all you want to do with it. If you've got a lot of stuff that you can put in your book, then I say go for it. If you don't, here's what I normally do, which keeps you kind of overloading your book. Because keep in mind, if you do mail this, I don't know what it is about this. Maybe it's the compactness, but they get really heavy. Okay, so we are going to make this into a pocket. So cut off main part right there. So you're just going to have one flap. And you may want to cut it just a little bit shorter depending on how big you want your pocket. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to washi it down, mainly because I have found that if you glue it down, your pocket's not going to be as wide, and it's going to wind up popping off anyway. So the washi turns out to be a cute decoration, and it holds it down a little better. And, you know, just pick some washi that blends with your stuff. Okay, so we got that. I'm going to come over here. Keep in mind where your seam is. Sometimes your washi winds up getting on a seam. You know, it's a handmade product. If it gets on the seam, then fine, it'll be okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's handmade. It looks handmade, but yet professionally handmade, I guess. Anyway, it doesn't have to be perfect, is my point. Now, if you want to, you know, get it where it looks better, you can come in there and do that if you want to. Okay, and that kind of helps secure it. And then I like to cut my washi. I know you can tear it, but when you do a project, it does tend to look a little better. Although that's uneven. Okay, so now we've got this flap. And I am going to cut the flap part off so that I've got a flap. I don't need my flap to fold up in there. So, there's that. Now, over on this side, you have another option. You can make a pocket, you can make a flap, you can do anything you want to. Usually what I like to do is make another flap, although I'm going to make it a little smaller. So I just come in, make just enough to kind of stick it right there. Now also keep in mind, kind of play with this. Keep in mind that it's going to close right. So we need to probably make it a little thinner. Okay. Again, I told y'all I cannot cut straight. Alright. So, glue the back of your thing for your flap. And again, you could have flapped over as much as you wanted there. It really, you know, if you wanted to, you could flap this over like that. You could have made it a bigger flap. It's just all in how much you have and how much you want to put in your book. Okay, so here's our book. It's done. That's it. It's easy, y'all. That's it. There's the book. Okay? That's how you make the pockets. You can turn this into a pocket if you want to by taping down the sides. You can turn this into a little thing where you stick that in there if you want by just cutting a little more. There's so much you can do with this. It's so much fun. And I promise, like me, once you start doing it, you will wind up getting addicted to it. And you'll find yourself doing nothing but making these things and finding people to send them to. So, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm going to show you in just a little bit what to put in there. But this is basically how to make the book. And it's easy. If you have any questions, you can PM me or email me. Thanks.